Wagwan guys, do you know that Upwork has been hit with over 15 lawsuits since 2019? And today, while I was actually just chilling, it just came to my mind to talk about how Upwork keeps changing their terms of service, like every few months or year or thereabouts, there is an update, new rules, new this, new that. I was just thinking about it, like, why are they doing this every time? Are they just trying to improve on their services and products, or they are trying to improve on these things because of profit? Yeah, that may actually be a factor. But honestly, I think that past legal actions against them may have actually influenced some of these Upwork's term change and the need for Upwork to protect themselves against future litigation. And freelancers should be aware of these things, because like somewhere in this mix, you are there if you freelance on Upwork. So I actually did a bit of research, and yes, there is actually a lot of legal drama behind the scenes that most of us freelancers don't even know about. We only know about how to win jobs, and we see all this and share all these success stories, which are beautiful. But we really need to know about these lawsuits and the headaches that Upwork deals with. Because if anything happens to Upwork, it happens to us. And also, understanding this stuff actually helps us understand why they keep updating things, why they keep modifying their terms of service on Upwork. Because if Upwork actually goes down as a company, millions of freelancers, I'm talking about 17 million freelancers on Upwork across the world, will also go down to, many would find their footing in other things. And to be honest with you, no freelance platform actually comes close to Upwork in terms of the job quality you get. Yeah, you can agree with me on this, right? Oh, is someone saying Fiverr? I don't think Fiverr comes this close. I made on Upwork within my first month what took me 6 months to make on Fiverr. Do you understand? So let me start with 2021. You know freelancer.com, right? The parent company of freelancer.com, it's known as Freelancer International. They actually sued Upwork over trademarks. They were mad because Upwork was using the word freelancer in their apps on App Store and Google Play. Like, I actually think that is pretty petty, since freelancer is actually a common English word. It actually originated since the medieval period, where you have people who are not pledging allegiance to any kingdom or any nation, that they fight for anybody that pays them from military. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the court actually basically laughed at them. Maybe not laugh. The court said that Upwork wasn't doing anything wrong. Freelancer International did not give up on this. So they appealed to the Ninth Circuit Court, and then they lost again. Then they tried to take it all the way to Supreme Court in 2022. But even the Supreme Court was like, nah, this is not the kind of jagbajantis matter I want to hear. I remember when this was happening, I was actually on a corporate job and was contemplating going all in on Upwork freelancing then. And I was actually worried that if this legal stuff actually hit Upwork, won't it affect me? But adding my 1+2, I actually went all in on Upwork for about 3 years. The good side of this kind of cases is that it actually made Upwork more careful about their branding and make them take legal matter even more seriously. They've been taking it seriously from day one. No company wouldn't. Now there is another case that was before this one I just explained in 2019, where a company called Legal Fox RAPC Worldwide actually sued Upwork. They said that Upwork fee structure was breaking some Anthony rules in California. This case went through appeals, but everything just stayed quiet after that. I could not find anything about it online. Probably they settled behind closed door. Probably, I don't know. Just last year in 2024, someone hired who they thought was a lawyer on Upwork, but turns out the person was not authorized to practice law. The client missed important deadlines, lost a lot of money according to them, and then sued Upwork, saying that Upwork should have checked that guy's credentials better. These cases are hard to win because Upwork always say that they are just connecting people, not verifying everyone's qualifications. So the responsibility of verifying the person you are working with, if you are an Upwork client, rests on you. But I think Upwork now does some degree of verification. That was the period where you would observe that now they yanked off everybody. If you're working in the US and you are not really a US citizen, they yank you off US and taking a couple of steps. They are reasons. Upwork is also trying to protect themselves. I get why the client is actually very frustrated, because there was a time when I had a client who told me he hired someone before me and the person completely messed up an important deadline for them. He was actually so angry. So we freelancers should totally understand when new client, prospective clients, even clients we've worked with are trying to size us up and double check us before hiring us. Do you understand? So this brings me to the whole arbitration thing. You know, Upwork really wants dispute to go through Upwork arbitration instead of going to regular court. It is actually in their terms of service right from time. So when you sign up, you are basically agreeing that if any big issue comes up in the course of your working with a freelancer or working with a client, that JAMS arbitration or Upwork arbitration is what you guys are going to use, not the regular court. So I understand why Upwork does that, because regular court cases take forever and cost way more money for the freelancer, for the client, and even for Upwork. I was scammed of about $800 by an Upwork client. That was last year. I made a video about it. I would have gone to court if that person was in my country. But hey, the person is in, I think the company the person worked for is in the US and the person is in, I think, Pakistan. Yeah. So like filing a case from Nigeria to Pakistan, that is actually not an easy thing to do. So it is actually better that when issues happen like that, Upwork arbitration is just a better option. Do you get? In my specific case, yeah, Upwork yanked the person off their platform because I reported. I made the actual company also report and all that. But then I didn't get my money, and Upwork failed me in terms of the Upwork protection that they said they will pay me for every hour I track. I tracked in my hour and didn't get paid. Okay, so I made other videos about that. Okay, so this scam stuff is actually probably what affects freelancers the most. In 2024, there was this article about someone getting scammed of about, I think, $475, and they argued that Upwork was making money off connect, even from fraudulent job posts, from fake job posts. You know, Upwork Trust Team allegedly removed over 12,000 fake job posts that year. But people still get a number of fake jobs and scam clients on Upwork till date. So to ensure that no member of my Upwork community and especially my WhatsApp group falls for this kind of scam, I have made, I think, about 4 or 5 videos about this. You can check them out on this channel and join the WhatsApp group if you've not. Comment if you would like to join the WhatsApp group. Comment here. Before we actually continue, let me quickly clarify something that I said in my last video, where I was actually wondering why Upwork doesn't want anyone directly affiliated to Lifted Solution Limited to work as a freelancer in their newly modified term. Because I was wondering, like, why is Upwork mentioning this company? Maybe I was thinking like, oh, maybe they've offended Upwork or something, or they've abused Upwork system. Then it turns out that I just realized that it is Upwork themselves. That means like that company is an arm of Upwork. You know, Upwork Enterprise is now what is called Lifted Solution LLC, not a different company as I initially thought when announcing the new terms on Upwork. Now, let's get back to the main topic we are discussing. I've seen my fair share of shady Upwork clients and fake job posts. Usually, they want you to work off platform. They are luring you to come and continue the conversation on a platform like Telegram before starting the contract on Upwork. If they've started contract on Upwork and they want to chat you up on another platform, it is allowed by Upwork terms of service. But if they've not started contract on Upwork, that's a likely scam. You know, I always tell my guys to trust their gut and share any job that they feel suspicious about on the WhatsApp group. If something feels off, it probably is. There was an investigation in 2025 involving Scale AI that actually targeted their HR partners, including Upwork, where former contract worker said job offer letter were altered to retroactively change their employment status. This stuff is actually serious because Upwork's legal document now explicitly states that clients are solely responsible for worker classification, and that Upwork isn't responsible for determining whether freelancers should be engaged as independent contractor or as employees. This kind of things is why Upwork's terms and conditions now have some new terms and more disclaimers and those kind of things about even employment relationship, and why they are so careful about how they actually describe the platform's role. Do you know the Better Business Bureau has over 100 complaints about Upwork since 2021. Most of them are about account bans and fraud that didn't even get resolved properly. That is actually a lot. But when you think about how many people are actually using Upwork as a platform, geez, then you understand that maybe Upwork is trying their best. But no wonder Upwork keeps tightening their rules and their terms of service. You know, I have been on Upwork for a few years now, and I have seen the platform transform, keep changing. But it's better understanding why these changes happen. You know, when you understand why these changes happen, it makes them less frustrating for you as a freelancer or as a client. You know, these legal fights are just part of how big tech companies actually operate. They get sued, they learn, they update their rules, and also we, the users, the freelancers, we, the clients, need to adapt. Now you understand why Upwork keeps changing their policy. Is there any Upwork policy that has actually affected you before? Let know in the comment section. And if this video actually helps you understand our favorite freelancing platform. I've used Golance, I've used Contra, I've used a couple of platforms. None actually comes close to Upwork in terms of like getting you good jobs that pays substantially. So I think thumbs up to Upwork team. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.